Hello and Happy New Year. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday season. We sure did. It is Thursday, January 5th, 2017. My name is Doris, and this is the Knit and Purl Podcast, episode 116. If you are new to this podcast, thank you and welcome. I'm so glad you found me and welcome. And if you are returning, thank you guys so much for your continued support. And I'm out of practice. You can find the show notes for this podcast on knitandpurl.net. In social media, I am One Fine Cow on Ravelry and Twitter. I am One Fine Design on Facebook and Etsy, and I am Doris M. Smith, all lowercase and smooshed together on Instagram. The one in One Fine Cow is the number one, and no. The one in One Fine Design is the number one, and the one in One Fine Cow is spelled out. But if you just go to the show notes, which will be a link down below, you can click. All of the social media stuff is linked in the show notes. You can click, you can find me, you can follow me, you can join the Ravelry group and all of that stuff, all through the show notes. By the way, this podcast has a Ravelry group, which is the Knit and Purl podcast group, which also has a link in the show notes. So you can find us easily there. We have 2 new members this time. The first one is 50 less, and that's all I know. And we have Poochie Graham, who is Jan. Thank you, ladies, so much. I'm so glad that you found us, you found the group, you found the video podcast. Thank you so much. And welcome. Enjoy yourself. If you need to start a thread, start a thread. Thank you. We have Ravelry group birthday shout outs, and I went from January 1st through the 14th, and we have one birthday in that, and that would be Froggy Princess 21CA, who is Tanya, and her birthday is on January 14th, which is next Saturday. So happy birthday, Tanya. I hope that you have a wonderful birthday, that you get to do all the things that you would want to do for your birthday, spend time with friends and family, get good yarny gifts, and eat birthday cake. It's really, eat birthday cake. Send me a piece. Just kidding. So that leads us to Story of the Week and Stash Enhancement. I have some stash enhancement. I purchased a set of ChiaoGoo's. They're US 8s, 5mm, and it's 40-inch circular. It's the ChiaoGoo lace. I'm really liking the scored. I needed it because all my 8 was being used in something else, and I wanted to start another project. I also purchased 3 patterns, which are linked in the show notes, and I'm going to try to bring them up so you can see them. I should have done this beforehand, been prepared, but I wasn't. I'm not a professional. I just play one on TV. Not really. Okay, here it comes. No, go back. Okay, so the first purchase, well, not in random order, I purchased the Super Bulky Grandpa by Hokey Locatelli. Yes, I want one. but it's going to involve more stash enhancement. Um, go back. I also purchased, was on special. It's like 50% off during the holiday season. I purchased the Bakery Bears, the Sock Knitter's Shawl by Kate F. Jones. So, yes. And finally, I purchased what I needed the needles for. Is I am doing the Cozy Schleiket Mystery Knit Along. This is my first Mystery Knit Along, and I actually just started it last night when I got my needles. I'm not real happy with the colors, but I'm just going to do it. I ordered yarn from Knit Picks, and it's yet to be, I'm yet to see it. So the story of the week, we did have a wonderful Christmas. Got some lovely presents. I'm smelling the lovely perfume that Ted got for me. Lovely gifts, lovely time together with family. And we spent a quiet night watching the New Year in. So, but I wanted to do my year in knitting review, which is the things that I completed this year. I have an impressive list. So I'm just going to kind of share with you what I worked on or completed last year. I made this little snowflake, if you remember, for the Snuggie as a possible girl gift, because we didn't know if it was going to be a boy or a girl, and the Snuggie was blue and white, so I knitted crocheted a pretty pink snowflake, which sits up here as a coaster. And I knitted the work sock baby, or completed the work sock baby Snuggie. I knitted 6 shawls, and one of them is in the process of being frogged because I was not. Here's the deal. I knitted it, but the pattern, the shawl pattern, was not the type of shape that I am comfortable wearing. So just recently I started the process of frogging it because I want to use the yarn and make something that I will get use out of. And I was not getting use out of that shawl. So just encouragement, if you've done something and you're not really happy with it, instead of just letting it set and not get worn and you want to use the yarn, just frog it and just move on. It's okay. It's okay. So 6 shawls. I knit 7 adult hats. I knit 1 ruffle scarf, which is that material from Red Heart. Yeah, you know. I've completed 1 cardigan, which was a simple raglan cardie. 4 cowls, one of them being this beauty, which is the Zuzu's Petals, which I knit from Handspun that I got from, I purchased the fiber from, anyway, you can't hardly, let me see, let me just make adjustment here. I purchased the fiber from On the Round. It's called Cosmic Rainbow, and I knit the Zuzu's Petals. And I had emotional knitting with this because it's like the one thing that I'm the most proud of this year. I wore it to work today, and they were like, give me that, sell me that. I'm like, no. This is something that will always be mine. It has special meaning to me. So anyway, moving along. I knit 1 scarf, which was I made it into an infinity. It was forgot the name of it. 2 washcloths. I produced 5 skeins of hand spun. This being one. 2 of them were gifted for Christmas and very well received. So proud of that. I made 1 hot water bottle cover, which gets a lot of use. 6 baby hats for the Baby Hats for Hayti. 1 market bag, which is the crocheted one. And I've got one that it's like sitting and not completed. I need to get that done. 1 pair of socks. That just makes me laugh because this year I have not been a sock knitter at all. I made 1 wrap, which is the mitered blanket wrap that I made huge. That is wonderful, and when I'm cold in here, it comes out, and I love it. It's very useful, and I completed 1 mermaid tail, which was delivered, and I still did not get a picture to share with you. Sorry. But I'm very, very pleased with what I produced this year. And I'm going to, again, I just started it. It's convenient to have a podcast because I have a documented finished objects. And most of the time I just write them down. But when I started the first of the year, I'm like, oh, I want to keep a record. And I did start, but then there were times when I didn't, and I could easily go through my show notes and pick them out. So I am not the type of person to make knitting goals for the year, because I have so many other things. I have fitness goals I want to complete. Knitting is pleasurable. I would like to knit a sweater this year. Maybe 2. We'll see. But I don't put constraints on my knitting. I just enjoy it. And if I don't enjoy it, it sits in a bag. We know. So anyway, we have a health pearl this week. Let me get that up. It is, this being the cold and flu season, sore throats galore. I found a homemade remedies for sore throats. There is a link in the show notes. You can click on it and review it. But I want to share it with you. If I can find my Stumble. I found it in Stumble. So they say a sore throat. When I get it, runny nose usually appears together. If it is not taken care of soon enough, fever breaks. Most sore throats are caused by viral infections, but bacterial infections exist too. Throat irritation may also arise from pollutions and chemical substances. Here's a list of 8 food that should be taken for its natural effects on sore throats. So the first one is apple cider vinegar. They say it's good for that kills the bacteria on contact. Mix it as strong as you can stand. Gargle 1 mouthful every hour. Swallow afterwards. Repeat twice each time. This treatment can cure the streptococcus sore throat in 24 hours. The acid is very helpful in soothing and minimizing the sore throat, and if you swallow it, the extra potassium is also beneficial, but rinse your mouth out thoroughly after each to prevent enamel erosion. The second one is ginger. Fresh ginger contains natural anti-inflammatory agents that can speed up the healing of a sore throat. Honey. Honey has been used to treat sore throats a long time ago due to its antiseptic properties. It says lemon and limes. Number 4. Both work fine for sore throats. The raw juice destroys the bacteria, but the high acidity content may add irritation to the affected throat tissue. Cinnamon. 1 teaspoon of coarsely powdered cinnamon boiled in a glass of water with a pinch of pepper powder, and 2 teaspoons of honey can be taken as medication for the treatment of this condition. And also cayenne pepper can be used as a gargle with water. It says mix 2 teaspoons, mix cayenne pepper and water mixture, 2 teaspoons of cayenne to a glass of water. It numbs and relieves really bad sore throats. This remedy works when antibiotics do not, and is excellent for those weird sore throats that don't seem to go away after 4 weeks. I'm going to show you this word if I can get it up here. Eucalyptus. It's a herb that is antiviral and antibacterial, speeds healing and boosts the immune system. Early documentation in the 1800s and early 1900s show euthanasia, that's it, sorry, use as one of the antimicrobial herbs for snake bites and anthrax. And the last one is horseradish. It's a common herb found in kitchens, which has vitamin C and volatile oils in it, such as mustard oil, which is antibiotic in nature. Its properties are useful not only against sore throats, but also upper respiratory infections, reducing fever, and significantly eliminating mucus. So, a list of 8 things that you can use as a homemade remedy for a sore throat. There you go. Again, you can click on the show notes down below, and you can go to the show notes and click on that link so you can read it yourself. So now, shall we get into the knitting? I have no faux, but I have a half-finished object, which is this thing. I actually kitchenered the toe of this sock this week because I was watching Shumaling on YouTube, and she talked about the knitted Kitchener. So I was like, let me try this, because I don't like doing the Kitchener. I don't like doing a toe up sock, so I'm stuck doing something with the toe. So she talked about the knitted Kitchener, and I went on YouTube, found the video, and it makes so much more sense than threading a needle and using a needle through. Instead of it, just use your knitting needles and knit the Kitchener. That's what I did. You can kind of see it, but it's just like the Kitchener, except you use a knitting needle to make the moves. So if you're interested, I recommend going and checking it out. There you go. That is my one and only half-finished object. Whips. I have 2 old and 2 new. I have in my Joanne Springs Knit Spin Farm bag. Oh, I didn't link it. Okay, before I publish the show notes, I will make sure I link the people who I mention. So, Knit Springs Farm bags. Awesome. I have the potato chip scarf, which is a free pattern on Ravelry by Crafty Cash. The yarn is just some Red Heart Super Saver. The colorway is Artist Print, and I did put a marker in, if I can find it, because I did a lot. There's where I was the last time you saw it, 2 weeks ago, and so I did quite a bit. I got quite a bit done, and I'm running out. I'm getting close to ending this skein of yarn, so I wanted to get something finished this week, and I didn't, so The needles I'm using are US 10.5, which is a 6.5 millimeter, and it's just the clovers. So, and these work really well with acrylic yarn. I have not had any issues with that. So hopefully next time we see each other, this will be a completed object. We shall see. A new project sitting right here is a new pattern I found on Pinterest, I believe. It is the Nice and Knit beanie, and it's in black and white, so you can't really see it. It's got a cute little square decrease. So I started it, and here's where I am. And the yarn is doing some crazy things that is so cute. It's actually striping. I didn't notice it until I put it on the camera. Cool! Dropped a stitch. So the yarn is actually more of this. Recognize it, anyone? It's Big Twist. Rainbow Classic, 100% acrylic. And the colorway is Bright Fun Brights. I finished off my mermaid tail, had this much left, and it kept yelling at me to do something fun. And when I saw this hat pattern, I'm like, yeah, let's do this thing. So I'm actually using one of my stitch markers, which is, it does not snagless, woo, with a pretty Millefiori bead, square bead. Petey. Links in the show notes to my Etsy shop where you could pick you up a pair or a set of 6 with a stitch minder, stitch marker, progress keeper. So that's it. I'm well on the way to being finished, but it did not become a finished object this week. So that's that. There's a link in the show notes to this pattern if you are interested in knitting a simple beanie out of some extra yarn that you just have laying around. Okay, next is one that you've seen before, my Cadence Chalette, which is a free pattern on Ravelry by Emily Straw. The yarn is a Caron Cake in the color Buttercup. This is how much I have left. The needles are US 8. 5 millimeter 4-inch circular Addi Turbos. And did I mark? I tried to mark everything from last time. Well, where is the mark? Where's the marker? Here it is. My beautiful stitch progress keeper from Thank God for Bags. You can't see it. It's a measuring tape. So that's where I was last time you saw it. So I got a goodly amount done. I also was hoping to have this off the needles, but that didn't happen. My knitting mojo is not the greatest right now, but that's the back. Here's what it looks like so far. And we're in the pinkish color right now. What else do I need to say about this? It's in my Thank God for Bags. Links in the show notes. There will be before you see this. To her Etsy store where she has lovely project bags for sale at a reasonable price. Shipping is fast and friendly. Here's her tag. My lighting is not that good today because it's later than normal. So, and finally, in this crazy bag, St. Louis Cardinals bag is, if you haven't started and don't want to see, this is the first part of the first clue. I'm not finished with the first clue. I just started it last night. Like I said, this is my first mystery knit along. I'm enjoying it immensely. But if you haven't, you don't want to be spoiled, look away. Here is my... I just got into the section 2 of this Cozy Schlanket mystery knit along. I'm using colors, their numbers from Cascade 220. I have the tags. It's like Cascade 220 yarn in yellow and burnt orange, and I have another color that may go in and may not go in. I haven't decided. I'm not real happy with these. These are not colors that I would normally use, but I had them in stash. I haven't got my order from Knit Picks yet, so I figure I will just start it because I was so anxious to start it. And, you know, this might be a gift or something. But here is my progress. Hopefully we'll get this completed tonight and be ready when the next clue comes out on the 8th, which is Sunday, I believe. Yes. Yeah, I'll be ready for it. So there it is. If you want to be involved, you can click on the link in the show notes and buy you the pattern, and you could probably still complete it in time for the second clue. I believe this is going to be a wonderful, huge shawl when completed. There you go. That is my Cozy Schlanket start. There you go. This is one color, and my, oh Lord, like I said, the lighting is not good right now. It's just a yellow and an orange, and I've got this green. I don't know if I'm going to use this as the third color. We'll see. I don't know. Like I said, my first mystery knit along. I'm excited. Yay. And if you didn't know, Mina Phillips is the one who's doing it in her group, the Knitting Expect podcast. I told you the needles are US 8s, 5mm 4-inch circular Chaogu lace. Yarn is Cascade 220 in 3 colors. That's it. That's it. My spinning is the same. I've done a little bit on that craziness that I told you about last week. And so we're going to go to Pinterest now. Pinterest is just another like New Year's resolution thing. Sorry, I don't know what I'm doing here. 5, 9, 6. New Year's resolution type thing. I think it is the best New Year's resolution anybody could have. And it's just a quote. taken from Instagram. What if you simply devoted this year to loving yourself more? I think we all could do better doing that. And finally, the stumble is, if you are one of those people that sets goals for your crafting, and one of your goals is to learn a new skill and you don't crochet, here you go. Stumble is how to crochet, and it gives you a picture tutorial, and down at the bottom, and this is just simple stitches, there is a video tutorial on how to crochet. So here you go. If you want to learn a new skill and you don't crochet, here's your opportunity. Links in the show notes to that link so that you can try your hand at crocheting. Finally, at the bottom and in the bottom down here is the link to my Etsy store. Please go over, look around, and like some things, give me some love. And if you find anything that you cannot live without and want to purchase it for you or as a gift, I will happily sell it to you and ship it out to you as fast as possible. All right, you guys, thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye.